What is up, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris 183.
Hi, Chris. We're here. This is a special episode, not part of Movie May. We pause Movie May to bring you late breaking news. It is a bonus episode called Quick Hits. And if you're listening and you're not sure what Quick Hits is, we like to talk to people that are making music, making good music. And so we're going to sit down and talk with a band that just put out their first full-length record. If you listen to High School Never Ends, well, if you listen to any episode of High School Never Ends, you would hear one of their songs because it's our intro track. But if you listen to our show, you may have heard them on the show as well. They're basically regulars. We have Mr. Stephen Reed Kelly and Mr. Justin I Love Animals Stewart. Welcome back, Port Maria.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's happening, man? I love animals. Thanks for having us, dude. We're glad to be here.
Yeah.
This is, we've been wanting to have you guys both on to talk about Port Maria. Steve just came on not that long ago to talk about a really great album, Saves the Days in Reverie. And we kind of I've been obsessed with one of your songs, so we kind of shoehorned it in at the end. But I think it was time to sit down and chat about, what you guys put out. I think we're curious to hear the process. Took a long time, so we're going to ask you about that. But yeah, Port Maria, brand new album. You guys want to tell everybody the name of it or something?
Yeah. Well, our album is called Co-Conspirators, and that's because it's Steve and I together. But freaking love that name. But yeah, Co-Conspirators.
It came out on April 12th. And yeah, like you said, man, first full-length album. And also, like you said, we've been working on it for a really long time. So we're really happy it's out in the wild.
What are you guys conspiring against?
Oh, so much, dude. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to just do a quick little memory here, man, because it's kind of feels like a full circle moment. Like we'll get into this, but I remember in Buffalo, 3 years ago, we sat down with you two, right as we were sitting down to start writing lyrics and melodies, and this is really cool, man. Thank you for having us here to just kind of just bring it around. It's awesome.
Complete the circle. That was actually the first time we ever did a show just for YouTube, and I guess
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
all the extra work and editing made us not do a whole lot of those, but it's still there. You go to YouTube, search in High School Never Ends, you can find that episode. And yeah, you guys were together in Buffalo, getting drunk and eating wings, and starting to make this record. Chris, I'm sorry, were you trying to chime in?
I knew I wasn't going to get a word in edgewise this episode, guys.
You can.
Steve is good, man. Go ahead, dude.
Can you tell how excited Wingman Steve is right now for this album? I can.
I've been a big fan. These guys are my friends from college. We met probably my sophomore year, and then Steve may have met you 1 year later, something like that. But I mean, we're just friends, and they were in this band called Category 5, and they were just like pop punk fucking heaven. They were great, and I fanboyed for their band while they were together for a while and followed them. They went their separate ways, but always was excited when they would sit down and make music together. So to see a full album come out of these two dudes, yes, I am excited.
Yes, I wasn't making fun of you. I was actually I was celebrating along with you because these guys do know how to make really, really awesome music, and I think the proof is in the pudding. When you listen to this album, you'll see that. 2 years, that's okay, right? 2 years, right? You said that it took to make this, or longer? 3.
Yeah. I'd say it's longer.
I would say it's longer, man. Some of this stuff started you guys started this right before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Our show's about 4 years old.
I would say that I started doing tracking for the actual songs.
It was 4 years ago, probably to the date, dude. Maybe a little before that.
I think I got drum tracks after, but I was demoing all the way. I was writing demos in the pandemic. The first part of the pandemic was just I'll rip through, a bunch of demos because I'm in my room all the time. And after I'm done with a Zoom call for work, I would just pick up my guitar and start exploring an idea I had kind of laid down. And man, I would love to get back to that. But yeah, it's been a really long time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But, and also, I would say that the majority of this record was conceived during that time that Steve's talking about. But there's a couple songs on here that probably have their origins. There's one in particular for sure that's got origins that are 15 years old for sure. We just like never turned it into something until now. And then there's a couple that were started during a recording session. We were kind of maybe trying to do an EP. That was where Lights Out was born. But there was a couple other tracks there that never got finished and they kind of got put on the shelf. And then we just kept messing with them. And it just eventually birthed some really, really good stuff, actually. I'm like really surprised how well they turned out. But there's some actually older stuff here, which, by the way, I think is pretty common for a band's first record. They've got so much material, like just sitting there, you know, and then finally curate it down to, you know, their first piece of work, you know?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you what the fuck took so long, and you've explained it a little bit, but I think also within that question, Port Maria is two dudes, right? Justin is singing. Steve, you're playing bass and guitar. Is that correct?
Yeah, bass, the guitar, some weird noises. I did a little bit more background vocals on this one than I typically would have in like Category 5. And then our friend Tyler from A Great Big Pile of Leaves, who also did the drums on basically everything we've done right now. So like we've got a song East Coast that is like very, very old that came out because we also recorded my wedding song, which is called Scrabble, also on Spotify. He did drums for those. And then basically I was like, oh, anytime I need drum tracks, like Tyler is the man. I'm going to see if he can play on our stuff. And he was cool with it. So we did that session that Stu talked about where Lights Out came from and Turn to Ghosts. And then for this, instead of like the studio that we used to use to record drums at closed down, Jesse Cannon moved to Brooklyn. And so I was like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer. But Tyler had a drum recording set up in his home, basically. And it's legit enough that I was like, oh, you know what? We'll be able to get usable drums out of this. So he tracked all of the drums in like the course of most of it was done probably in the course of like 2 or 3 weekends, and sent me back all of the files. And
where does that happen in the process? Right. So you wrote the bass and you wrote the guitar parts.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of stuff to just
and the
GarageBand backing tracks, or I had like old drum tracks that I would just write to, samples that I would cut up and stuff like that, and make it like, the chorus would sound like this, the verse would sound a little bit more subdued like this, and so I would write to that.
And Steve would he would constantly send me like little demos, basically like via iMessage. And I would just like come out of like something I'm doing at work, and he'd be like, yo, check this out. And it would have some like obscene name attached to it, like every time. And, but then he'd be like, yo, check this. Like, what do you think about this? And then, if I'm like vibing on it and digging it, I'd be like, yeah, dude, thumbs up. Or if there was something that was like, this isn't that cool, he would just bank it and put it somewhere. But that was kind of how it started, man. He would just shoot me all these little demos. And then I think once the pandemic happened, it really got real serious. It was like, okay, we're going to really piece these together as actual songs. And
I felt like we had 10, right? Like we went through and sifted through a bunch of songs, and I was like, hey, I think there's like 10 rough demos over the years that we've accrued. Plus, it was either rough demos we accrued over the years or the stuff I was writing during the pandemic. And I was like, I like enough of these that I think like we've got something here, whether it's going to be like an extended EP, like an 8-song type thing. But like there's 10 that I like that I would be interested enough. What do you think, man? Do you think we could do this? And Stu was really supportive. He was like, yeah, let's, we don't have we're middle-aged men with nothing better to do. Let's make more music.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right? Any of the songs, Steve, that maybe Stu wasn't vibing into, or he just wasn't into, that you fought for, that said, whoa, like listen to it again?
I would say there's probably 2 that I didn't know if you were into as much. And it was let me pull up the track listing. I think, okay, so I would say, and Stu, I don't know if you agree with this or not, But I think that maybe you weren't as into Tool versus Weapon.
Okay.
And 2011 was the last demo we wrote, and it's so like dissonant at times.
It's a little
I think
screamy,
that
that
one.
one. It's
It's a little screamy. Yeah,
I
it's a
thought
little
Stu would
screamy.
be into doing that.
I was into it, but
Just the music as it was.
There's a story behind this one too that is just so ridiculous. But I do a good portion of like a lot of the choruses and stuff that came out of this record were like made just randomly, you know, like I think most things are. You're just singing along and then boom, you hit it, and then you save that chorus in your memory or on a, you know, like a little quick recording for years. But then like the verses wouldn't be done. The verses wouldn't be finished until like the very last minute. But we knew we had these banger choruses, and we would do those for like almost every single song. And it got a little bit frustrating sometimes because we're like, man, like, how do we fill this? Like, what do we do here? What do we do here? But we knew we always sort of just like had this knack for kind of like knocking out a chorus. And I would drive to New Jersey, I'd say maybe 6 times a year at least. And we would just spend 3 days, like all weekend, just like working on tracks and just laying down ideas. And I think that's why the main reason it takes so long is because we have jobs and we live 6 hours apart. But
Yeah.
it was a piece by piece process, man. We're like, we got some good stuff here. And then before you know it, like we did have like 10 songs that were like mostly done, but not totally. And then we like dived back into the sessions that we did back in New Jersey at Mike's studio. And we're like, do you think we could finish these too? And so that's how we pulled out a couple extra tracks to make it a total of 12 in the end. But yeah, man, it was always like, I can remember certain courses as I'm thinking about this right now, where I'm sitting in Steve's little studio room and just like, oh yeah, that course is like probably 8 years old, but we didn't finish the song until like, you know, 6 months ago.
I mean, if you think
You know?
about it,
Yeah.
the Early November put out a record last year, and it was, you know, mostly conceived of things that were unfinished or ideas they couldn't, you know, complete from beforehand. And they ended up turning them in, you know, putting in the work and putting out a record of really good stuff that sounded like, you know, it kind of came from their different eras, but certainly cohesive.
And honestly, I would say like, so the way this shook out was like I got drum tracks from Tyler. I ended up doing all the recording for the guitars, the bass, some synthy stuff like in my bedroom. Cause I got some pieces, like I just got some pieces of gear that allowed me to do that to like the best of my ability here, which was great because I had all the time in the world to sit and get the guitar parts right. You know, I'm not like an amazing guitar player or bass player, so I needed some time. And the worst part about being in a studio is like you're looking at the clock thinking, we got to get this stuff done in a couple hours or something like that. So that was a breeze. And then we just sat and we're like, we could not write lyrics to stuff. It like took us forever. It was brutal. And that's when we decided like, hey man, do you want to just take a week? I'll move the studio to Buffalo. Like, take all this gear. We'll set up shop. We will record and demo lyrics to try to get stuff. And like, maybe half the songs came away with bits and pieces of things. But ultimately, like the songs didn't get finished until we went to Richmond to record vocals officially with Will Beasley. And like that's when we kind of were like, hey, we really have to figure this stuff out and finish it. So
yeah.
now we are on the clock. And and
so the lyrics are the
of
hardest part, is what you're saying.
100%. And it always will be.
And it always is, because like then Steve and I will like butt heads about lyrics, and Steve's a really good writer. Like words like come to his head. Like what you had a journalism major, right? Was that not journalism? Yeah. Okay. But Steve's just a writer, guys. Like I don't know if you ever. I know Steve Wingman. You've heard some of the poems, but
Yes.
like
There's blood
but
on the
then,
couch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like we'd be sitting there and like riffing on things. You're like, no, riffing on this. No, riffing on that. No. Or like, I don't know, man. It was like, but eventually, I don't know. There was things that even I didn't like once they were done that I was just like, once it was done, I was like, oh, this is it. This is a banger, you know. Um,
And to Stu's credit, what I would say, like, where I do
He
feel like,
sang. To Stu's credit, he sang.
no, legit, Steve, like the thing that Stu does better than any other singer I've ever worked with is he has like this sense of melody that it's like I have something in my head where I'm like, this is the way I would sing this in my very limited range. I hand it off to Stu, or like he'd be in the booth and I'd be like, man, can you try that like a little bigger? Can you like mess with the melody a little bit and just see what happens? And what came out the other side of that would just be like, oh man, that was killer. Like that was the take. And you took it somewhere melodically that like I never would have thought. And it crushed it. Like he's really, really gifted. And it's always been that way, dude, since back in Category 5. Like I heard this from Will. I heard this from really anybody that took a listen to the album before, and they were like, man, he can really sing. And so I feel it's been a gift to make music with you, dude.
My heart is warm. Thank you, dude. And I will also toss it right back at you, dude. Like your writing skills are ridiculous. You say, hey, I'm not the best guitar player. I mean, dude, you're selling yourself a little bit short here, man. You write very, very well. And man, you can noodle a bass. Okay. All right. Let's be real. All right. You can noodle the bass, buddy.
Such a love fest. I thought we were going to break you guys up tonight.
Oh man, this is all fun.
Chris, doesn't seem like it's.
There's still time. Yeah, there's still time. He keeps drinking.
Any particular way that you guys arranged the set list for this album? Did it matter to you what came first, second, third, or did it all just kind of fall into place?
Very deliberate.
Yeah,
we went back and forth.
We went back and forth a lot. Yeah.
I think that I even went as far as like, because you want the songs to kind of flow together. And I knew that I had a lot of songs that had like a bloated intro. It's the only way to say it. It's just like, I didn't know how to get into the song. So we have like, you know, a lengthy kind of spacey at times, like instrumental intro to a track. And I didn't want to do too many of those like in a row. So trying to figure out like what are like the really strong ones we would want to lead off an album with. And then, you know, I don't want the order to go back and forth in like a weird way. Stu was really opinionated about like, this is a good first song. This is a good last song. Yeah. This is not a good last song. And so like we tugged back and forth on that stuff. And I feel like finally ended up like I made a spreadsheet where I was like, this is what I think the order should be. What do you think about this? What if we mix these up? Like it was very deliberate.
Yeah, I'm really happy how it turned out, to be honest. But there was one thing that I think Steve and I just kind of had to just kind of go with it. But when we were mastering it, there were, you know, you have to choose your exact time cutoffs, and the transition between Errors track 7 and Cover Up track 8, there's like one of those long intros that's kind of like synthy, spacey sounding guitars there. And I just love those spacey guitars. Like I thought they were great. And I thought it was supposed to be a first track. I thought it was supposed to be an intro track. And I'm happy with the intro track we have now, but I was like really set. That's the intro track, Cover Up, which is right now track 8. And because that long intro was like sitting weird there in the middle of a song, we chopped it off and put it at the end of Errors instead. And I think it works out when you listen to it in succession. It's fine. But that was pretty much my only gripe in the end. But I'm happy how it turned out.
Well, one thing I want to say, we're going to play a couple of tracks here, but I want to call back to a couple episodes ago. So we played a song called Clinic After Hours, and we're not going to play it here today because we already played it. So if you haven't heard it, hit pause, go listen to Clinic After Hours, and come back. Okay, thank you for coming back. Clinic After Hours, I think we didn't really like discuss it. We kind of just threw it in at the end of an episode, but I think the track needs some discussion. This is like such a banger, this song. It's literally that song that gets fucking stuck in your head and just doesn't get out, like for me. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's got that killer chorus, the scream, the hey is and the words, the lyrics, sorry, they're very introspective. And if a lot of these lyrics on this record, it doesn't seem like they were something that you were like struggling with. So either maybe you were struggling with it and you finally like got it right. But it doesn't seem like anything that was just like thrown in there. They're all like very like grown up lyrics. Sometimes, by reading them, you have to kind of figure out, or without reading them, you kind of don't know exactly what we're talking about. But the concept of this song is the best since, Round the Edges, which was a Category 5 song that I always loved. And, this whole thing, the chorus goes, hey, is it better to be stuck in one place or better to get lost along the way? There's no turning back, nowhere to stay. The cracks are forming underneath. And I just feel like this concept of, not knowing, do we move forward? Do we stay? Great concept. And talk to me a little bit about it. So it kind of starts off as like a road trip song. The whole first verse is basically road trip. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, second verse is kind of road trip, but it's like not the same type of road trip. What's the sentiment behind this track, Clinic After Hours?
Okay, so in this one, definitely written from the perspective of someone who is potentially in a relationship, and it's just like, where's this going? Like, am I going to be in this for the long haul, or is it time to move on? And written through the guise of a couple different experiences that I drew upon. I would say for the verses that maybe just spoke to that chorus, or like, I think with any of the verses, it was kind of like, how am I supporting what we're delivering in the chorus, right? You want the verses to be your supporting arguments to some extent, and the bridges to be like a counter sometimes. And that's kind of, I would say, the perspective we wrote this through. Stu, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the chorus is like, I kind of agree with you, Steve, from the standpoint of like saying that this is like a great concept, because it's sort of this existential question that every single one of us ask ourselves, probably like all the time, no matter where we are,
And not to interrupt you, but just to say, like, it could be, I didn't even think of it about being like a romantic relationship, but it fits that, and it just fits like fucking life in general,
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, that was kind of where I was going with it. And it's just, but like, it's also kind of playing the story of like, you see all of these, I keep saying it's like when the solid ground erodes, look out below. Just this idea that it always, like, life always feels like it's crumbling underneath you at times. But should I stay or should we keep going? And just, is it better to be on the adventure of getting lost along the way? So yeah.
Yeah, that just, again, the existentialism of that song, that's what it made me think of. And it kind of makes you like happy and sad at the same time and question things. And, that's a song that kind of makes me think. And again, it's just so hooky and catchy. I wanted to ask, first off, who books a flight from Oakland to PDX? That's quite a short flight, is it not? I know that you guys spent some time in the Pacific Northwest drinking fucking ciders or something like that. But I also loved the fact that the call out where you say there's no Wi-Fi or drink service, so I settled for Panic. I think that's a lost line. Not that it's lost, but it's just like a short line that is not something that's focused on. It just makes me kind of laugh.
Dude, you know what? I sent early demos of that to Tony from Tired Radio, just because he's a songwriter, and we bounce ideas back and forth sometimes. And he was like, "That is a line I enjoy very much," and I really appreciated it, because he caught on to something that I found. Like, I was like, how do we write this line? Where is it going? And like, if I can be very frank, like that verse is about something somewhat unrelated. Like I pulled a lot of those references from a guy's trip where we were going from Oakland,
Oakland to
California
PDX.
to Portland, and my buddies got super drunk on the flight, and then we went to the Hungry Tiger, and one of them was starting fights with the bartender, just who had like wanted nothing to do with him. So pulled from that, and also like layered on top of that is just like I have a like crushing fear of flying.
I was going to ask who is the guy who doesn't like to fly.
I hate the feeling of flying, but I think Stu also probably shares some of that sentiment. We were on a flight to Idaho, and it got pretty rocky there, and everybody was like, "This isn't natural. We hate this. Like, we need to be off of this death tube."
Well, before I definitely want to play a couple of tracks here, since we're just talking about a track that we didn't just play. But I do want to say, I don't know if it's lost on you, but the record came out maybe 3 weeks ago, something along those lines when we're recording tonight. And Clinic After Hours has more streams than Lights Out, which is a song that's been out forever and is like the track to our podcast. So congratulations. I mean, I would take nothing other than like, that must feel pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah, man, it is cool. Dude, I myself, like people are asking me like, well, do you play do you just listen to your own album all the time? I'm like, no. I mean, sometimes I jam it, and just want to be proud of what we did. But I will say that like, it's a long drive on 80, like pops into my head all the time because it's super catchy.
I might be half of those streams. So, you can thank me.
I am proud of that. So cool, man. Thank you.
Cool. We ready to listen to a couple tracks?
Yeah, let's start with one. So we were going to play two different tracks. Steve Kelly, you picked one of them, and then you said to me, pick another one. So which one should we start with? You tell me.
Let's start with The Thread.
We're going to start with The Thread. Listen to it, and then we'll listen to it, and then we'll chat about it. All right, so this one's called The Thread. It's number 6 off the album Co-Conspirators by Port Maria.
Select all and delete at least once a week. We're all
That's the
Awesome.
thread. That's the thread. Awesome. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Nope.
No, yep. I was gonna say I love the guitar. Love that just guitar sound on that song. It's just that did you say spacey before? Like that's a really cool with the sound you guys come up with, and the lyrics flow perfectly with that. So and I also like the fact that and this is something small, but I just want to throw it out there. Like you talk about you say co-conspirators in this song. Do you keep that theme going throughout the entire album? Is that something you did on purpose, or no, it's just this song?
Plucked from this song.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Interesting.
plucked the title just from this song.
So the song was first, and then you guys are like, "Oh, that co-conspirators. That's perfect."
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a dope name, dude. It just was like, that's it. That
Yeah.
was it.
Was this song ever called Co-Conspirators?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was honestly
Probably called
the
like
thread
ball
from the
sacks
beginning.
and ball hairs or something like that.
I mean, dude, there was a lot of things like that, but not this one.
Awesome. Loved it.
Genitals and scissors. I like so the guitar, like this song gives you like a little bit of an 80s kind of vibe to it. Like you guys were trying to go for something along those lines, especially in the, the first verse, the intro.
Definitely was having a lot of fun with chorus pedals and chorus E plugins on my guitar. I felt like it needed it definitely wrote this with the rhythm guitar first. And so I was like, it needs a lead of some kind, and like the guitar isn't it's not moving a lot. So I was like, something needs to be happening on the guitar lines that I'm playing there that make it stand out. And so that's kind of where I went with it.
Yeah.
If
So
that makes any sense.
the reason why, again, when it was left up to me, hey, which song do you want to play after Clinic After Hours? Obviously, we played that already. So this song to me, it's got that 80s vibe in the intro. My wife, Marina, she listened to it. She likes that. She likes 80s stuff.
That's cool.
Obviously, Chris you mentioned the album title in this. You hear a little bit of Stewie falsetto, which you don't hear all that much, just a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit in the first track on Old Fox, and trying to think where else.
It's not too often.
It's not too often. Yeah.
Of course, you saw my arm go up on the video with the gang vocals. I mean, you guys have been kings of knowing when to throw those in. I also love what the way that Stu will end verses and choruses and kind of change the tone there. Sometimes it's the hanging on by a and when he always goes up at the end, and that just brings you along, and it kind of takes you on a journey, and it makes it not a straight line. It makes it on a straight up. I don't know what the hell that is. A 45-degree angle. How's
so
that?
this chorus, dude, or sorry, this bridge was like one of those moments where we were just fucking around, having fun, and just messing with some words, messing with some melodies, and that thing just kind of like popped out.
And
So
it's
are you
a
talking
weird
about-
thing to sing to. So like the bridge goes very like surf guitar-y.
And you're talking about the bridges, Uncheck the Reverence.
Yes.
Okay, dude, you sounded a little like Robert Smithy. Like your voice was a little different there than I have heard it. It sounded a little. I don't know how else to
just
describe
more
it.
softer and breathier. Just more breathy. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun in the studio because so just to peel back the curtain a little bit, like it was weird. We didn't really know what to do there, and Stu was trying like a handful of things, but I think this came pretty quickly. And Will was like, I think Will was like, hey man, why don't you try doing like a really high like thing on top of what you're singing? And now like it's just so faint in the mix, but
Oh yeah.
what
You're
he's
right.
singing, and there is like a high falsetto behind it, and it sounded so cool. It was like, this is weird. We're making
yeah, you're
something
right.
very weird.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You're right. I forgot about that, man. Yeah.
that's what a bridge needs to be sometimes, is just like, hey, let's take a pause and do something different. And
Oh, dude, you're right. I remember. It's really, really high. It's almost like whistly in the background. Yeah.
it was really cool. That was a lot of fun.
And it's another one of those choruses that seems to be very well. Obviously, it's very catchy, but it seems very, again, kind of existential. There's no use in resisting my worst impulses. We're hanging on by a thread. Pouring gasoline on the fire pit. We're hanging on by a thread. It's like you guys could be talking about something very specific, or you could just be talking about fucking living life and just doing your thing. So I like that. You don't really know what it is, but people could probably attach to it whatever they want.
I like that so much because
Yeah, I did too. Man.
It's absolutely what I want people to do with this is take it, make it their own, whatever few people listen to this. But most of this song was written with very specific references that we found very funny, because this song is like, to Stu and I, is very personal, and it's about like a text thread with our friends
that we've known for a lot of the guys are in our old band, and one of them's my brother.
The thread is very specifically our text thread. And a lot of these things like we all took a trip together to go fishing and like poured gasoline on a fire pit, and it burned a singe mark on our friend's father-in-law's deck. Like
Steve, it was, oh man, I don't want to get into it. We could just,
but like, yeah. That's why I really liked baking some of these things into the song. It was just like, this is so ridiculous. People can take from this what they want. These are just metaphors, but like,
and
to
it gives
you and
the
me,
thread dual meanings. At least
exactly.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Chris, like, how long do I need to be friends with these fucking guys? They're going to write a song about me and my text thread with them. Come on.
I mean, obviously another 2 years, but it takes time to come up with really good stuff. So
like, dude, my dad asked me, he's like, is this about your girlfriend? And I'm like, dude, no, if you only knew. But when you read these lyrics, like, you could totally take it that way. Like, you could read this as a relationship. We're co-conspirators at the comfort of closed doors, the conditioning complete, and it just kind of like, I love how it can be just, you can make it what you want. And then on top of that, we hope that people enjoy the melodies and the actual song,
I mean, we could ask you if all of these songs are about your ex-girlfriend. That, some of them might make sense, but,
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these songs can be, there's threads of past relationships in them for sure, but I'm not going to name names or get specific about that, but it's true.
It was me. He dumped me.
It was you.
He dumped me. He treated me so poorly, that bastard.
That's how you'll get your song there, Steve. Just
I guess I'm working on it. I'm trying. We'll see. I'm trying to be really funny in like our group text, but I'll keep working on it. I got time.
You'll get there, man.
Cool.
LP2, it's just around the corner in the next 5 years.
5 years. Yep. We need another pandemic.
No, we hear another song. Let's hear another song.
All right, you guys want to cue up what the next song is?
Yeah,
these are actually in sequential order on the record.
They are, and this one, remember how we mentioned that like we had a handful of tracks that were older from the Lights Out sessions, stashed away, and we didn't really know what to do with them. This is one of those songs. So this one's been around. It's been on the back burner for quite a while, and it's called Errors. And yeah.
All right, here's Errors.
Back
Errors. That was not an error. Oh, I forgot to say in the last song that you guys talked about select all and delete. That was a call out to a spreadsheet, which I really liked.
Was that add-on? We were started to listen to it at the end, but was that what you were talking about, Stu?
Yeah, that was the kind of intro to the next song, but it is mastered and part of the end of Errors. So if you listen to it in succession, it hits hard in the next song. But yeah, it's part of the end of that song now.
Got it.
Yep.
Sorry, we cut that one off. Thanks to
It's cool. It's
Steve
not
Kelly gave
necessary.
us the cut sign, so we did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
I was just like, oh, this is gonna be 30 seconds of weirdness. We don't need to.
Just listen to
Just
the
do
rest
that.
of the album. We could have just listened to the rest of the album. You know,
We could just
keep
listen
it
to the whole
going.
thing. It's all good.
Steve, I went first last time, so you go first this time.
Yeah, dude. So this one, I think, did one of you guys call it like kind of like a long brooding intro into this one? In the beginning?
No, not this one.
Not this
the
one.
end of this one is like a long brooding intro into Cover Up.
I got you. Well, you guys do have a pretty, decent instrumental introduction to this one. I think my favorite part is that the vocals in the verse are just stacked really well. Like, Stu, you're doing a high and a low, and those are stacked on top of each other. I don't know if that's a technical term or not, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I can hear the two octaves, and it sounds really, really good together. So
Yeah, so there
nice job
are
getting
a
that
lot
note.
of octaves on this one, as well as harmonies, of course. But yeah, like you can hear it in the verses. Just the octave
And this is technically
underneath.
Steve and I, or Stu and
Yeah.
I
Actually, Steve, I
singing.
think you were singing underneath that one, aren't you?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm on the
you are.
lower.
Yep.
I didn't mean to not give you credit, Steve. I just
No,
I
but
assumed
it
that
is
comes from
him.
Stu.
It is him. Yep.
Nice job. You're on the low. Stu's on the high. You're on the low.
Yep.
We need to hear some more of you, Steve. You gotta have
Dude,
some
and
solo parts.
This is one of those songs where the chorus was made in Steve's little studio bedroom. At least 8 years ago. This is one of them. And like, we always felt like it was just a really like banger, hooky chorus. It's got that really high point that's just like, oh dang, this is sweet.
I
And
was
we
going
just
to
held
say,
on to that.
I hope that you didn't hit that high note in Steve's bedroom there for his neighbor's sake, because that's a pretty high note.
Yeah, it's a lot of air. It's easily the hardest part of the whole album to sing, for sure.
I like the stair step down, like the way that the lyric is delivered at the other end of that chorus. That dun 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 dun, like that the way it comes down.
I'm not going. Yeah, that one.
It's a cool effect. I mean, I don't hear that a lot. So kudos to you guys for coming up with something like that creative. And I think that the bass. This is just something I picked out. Like the bass was really, really cool on this one, especially at the beginning of the song. You could really, really hear that one kick in. So it definitely was a standout. Sure, this was a good one too. I think there was a lot to like about this one. Steve touched on some of my other points, so I'm not going to reiterate. But I think for me, those two things were the other things that we didn't discuss yet. So.
And lyrically, I think that it's the verse where you guys go into dialing your number several hours after it's socially acceptable, leave a message to a machine, moments after you press ignore, is quite hilarious, sad, and realistic all at the same time. And kudos, claps to you for the
Drama.
The final
drama.
lyrics just being so uplifting. Grow up or you don't. You get old either way. It's a slow crawl to the grave. Just put that in perspective. It's true. It really is true.
Slow crawl to the grave is a long-standing thread theme on our group thread, where it's just nihilism just comes up every once in a while.
It's just nihilism.
Yeah, it's just not like sometimes it's like nihilism week where everyone's just like, fuck it, nothing matters, one day closer to the grave.
Why
Yeah.
errors? Like why call this one errors? Any particular reason?
I honestly think that was the name of the demo. Like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
way back when. And then the lyrical content of it, Chris, started being about like my mid-20s in New York City and just like being a dumb young adult, sort of. Like, it's just like you're making mistakes as a kid, And I think I wrote the lyrics because I was like, okay, we got this really fun chorus. I don't know how to like same kind of idea where I was like, how do I reinforce that? And like, what am I thinking about? And that's just kind of where I found inspiration was moments.
It's like a comedy of errors, basically.
Exactly.
Of growing up in your 20s. Yeah.
And just being an idiot.
20s, 30s, whatever, right?
Exactly.
40s, you never know. Well, listen, guys, we listened to 2 tracks, but the album itself has 12 tracks, and I would highly encourage everybody to really listen to the whole thing. There's again, more hooks, more great lyrics. There's a song called Oubliette, and if you know where that's from, I texted Steve the day that this came out, and I was like, is Oubliette from ... And I said where it's from. So put it in the comments on Instagram or somewhere, and we'll like it and give you props. Oubliette can only be from one place, and I hit the nail on the head. So I really felt proud about that. But boys, you sound very proud about this album, and I'm curious, are we considering doing any live stuff? It's the 2 of you dudes. You need another guitarist. It sounds like you got a drummer who maybe, I don't know what he's up to, but maybe he would play with you guys. I would like to hear some of this shit live. Is it up for consideration?
It's definitely up for consideration. Yeah.
It's up for consideration. It's really, really difficult right now because we're so far away. Like, just getting practice in would be difficult for Stu and I,
Yeah, he probably doesn't even remember most of the words, I would think.
Eventually, I'm headed back into Pennsylvania, and I think that will make it easier for us to get something started. Until then, I think we both understand that it's just gonna be a challenge, and I hate that because I love this record, and I wish we were playing like shitty VFW hall shows to support it.
So how about recording wise? You guys have done EPs, short little stays here and there. This took you a long amount of time to put out a full album. What do you think are the pros and cons of doing each of those, and what do you think you would want to do next?
I mean, me personally, like I don't really think I want to put out another EP. I'd like to try to do another full album, to be honest. I think EPs are, I don't know if this is actually maybe an unspoken rule, but EPs are generally failed albums. Like, oh, we don't have enough content, so we're just going to put this out. Right. I'd be okay with that too, if we never did enough, but I definitely want to keep releasing more content.
Yeah. I think EPs are nice because you get something out sooner and it keeps the conversation about you, but there is no conversation about Port Maria. And for us, I think this process was extremely fulfilling to go through, like writing and recording an album and just making art with your friends and like,
just forming connections through it that just you'll for life,
Yeah, dude, like Will run for life for sure. I do think the process of recording the album was very rewarding in a way that, like, if you do like a 2-song, 3-song recording session during like a weekend, we didn't have the same experience.
Yeah. Like, can I got to interject like a memory here that's just worth talking about. So 2011, or as like I kind of started to call it, like 2011. It's like, if you dig into it, it's a song about technology and how like we feel like the balance of technology and life was better in 2011. But besides that, so Steve and I we're staying in Virginia. We had 2 week-long sessions down there, and we would we'd record all day. We'd go out for dinner, and we would sometimes have a couple drinks. And then this one day we get super drunk, like really drunk. I think I was way more drunk than Steve. And he's like
pretty drunk, dude.
Yeah, Steve was drunk too, actually. So like we had full access to the studio even when Will wasn't there. So we could go in and actually lay down tracks and then like parse through them the next day. I'm freaking hammered out of my mind. Like I can't see anything. Like I have no voice. Like I'm done. Okay. And I just want to go lay in my bed and like play my Switch or whatever. And Steve's just sitting there, he's standing over me like I'm a freaking dog. And nope, stoop, hop, stoop, hop, one more, hop, hop. No, Steve, hop, one more. He's like barking at me like he's like training me like a German Shepherd. And I was like, okay. So like I went in there and I have a headache. I can't see straight. I'm so fucking drunk. It's probably 1 a.m. And we laid down some of the absolute best material that actually ended up on that song. Like some of the screamy parts, like were just a result of me being completely wasted and unable to sing at all. And then like capturing certain moments that were like, yeah, that's on the record. Like stuff like that, dude, where you just can't, it's amazing.
It's awesome.
You capture a rock moment.
I believe that was also the night that we busted the seafood ISO booth.
And I broke the ISO booth, which cost me like $300 or $400. And whatever, man. It's a memory.
You take the good with the bad, you know?
Well, that's really good. I'm going to go listen to 2011 and I'm going to listen and I'm going to put myself back in your headspace there when you were totally wasted. Maybe I'll listen to it when I'm totally wasted. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, like
that's a good memory though for
it was
anybody
so good,
listening.
It was really fun.
That's a great connection.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
Yeah. So yeah, we're very proud of it, man. We're very happy about it. And yeah, eventually we'll do some more. But right now we're enjoying the process of like, you know, just showing it to people and talking about it and just experiencing the fruits of that labor. And then I think eventually like we'll just get into, you know, starting to brainstorm again. Steve sending me little clips on iMessage, you know.
Yeah, right now we're in the everybody look at us, please look at us mode, and that's very rewarding. And then soon we'll crave attention and we'll need to make more content, and that's how it goes.
That's only child mentality right there.
Yeah, but I think the music speaks for itself. I mean, you know, people will find it. They'll find the music and they'll see that, you know, that it is worth listening to. And see, the cool thing for me is that even though it took a long time for you guys to make this album, that's okay. I mean, we joked a lot about it and all that stuff, but you know, as long as it's a good product, it doesn't matter. Like I'm okay with waiting for something that's going to be really good no matter what it is. That's me personally, I guess. Some people are impatient. And hey, who knows? You have a ton of momentum coming off of this album, understanding the time constraints that you have in your lives, but maybe the next one does come sooner because of that. Maybe you're able to, you know, put something together faster because you just have that momentum. I don't know, right? But again, the cool thing is you made a piece of art that really sounds great. Not many people can say that. I know that it would probably, you could give me 6 years and I'm not sure I could come up with 3 songs. What do you think, Steve?
I have full confidence in you if you were to put your mind to it, but I would say that I probably could not.
It's hard.
Not songs.
I mean,
not songs.
I don't know how to put that all together, and I could pretend. But ultimately, again, hats off to you guys and really, really cool stuff and great album. So for all of you out there, once again, I know Steve said it before, but go check this out. You do not, if you like this kind of music, you do not want to miss these guys and miss the songs that they made.
Yeah,
So-
and it's not just like classic pop punk or bubblegum pop punk. I would put, you know, pop punk, rock. It's a bunch of different genres that's mixed together, and it's super fun. If you like pop
music.
punk, you will like it.
It's good music. Good music. Good music is music. So that said, wow, I think we got to the point in the show that we like to call ranking it. And look, I mean, I think that we could go a couple different ways here, but I honestly think that the best way to do ranking it today is really to give those out there that maybe don't know Port Maria that well, you know, kind of a good taste of maybe a couple songs that you guys think are standouts. Like, what should they start with? Obviously, you want them to listen to the entire album, but I say, like, give your top 2 and let us know what you think are the 2 that mean the most to you as people kind of listen through this album for maybe the first time.
Interesting.
Thinking.
Well, I'll go first. So if you want me to pick my top 2
Yeah.
for me. Yeah. So my number 1 would be Oubliette for sure. There's some special meaning in that song for me that I think is like really, really special when I listen to it. I just kind of just throw it out there. It's basically about addiction, but we won't get into more details than that. After that, I love the songs we've already talked about like so much. This is so hard to pick, but I'll pick another one that we didn't talk about, and that would be Cover Up. That would be probably my second kind of like, hey, check this one out. So, yep. Oubliette and Cover Up.
Okay. Steve?
Oh man. Okay. I mean, if it's somebody brand new and they're listening, I want them to listen to Clinic After Hours. And I just, when we were talking about like, hey, what do you want the song that you think is your favorite? And Stu and I both kind of were like, I think this one has the biggest chorus. I like how the chorus escalates every time it repeats. And I just like, if you're like a Taylor Swift fan, like sure, go listen to that song, because I feel like it does a mature version of like introducing different melodies, counter melodies, things like that every time the chorus repeats. And I'm very proud of that from a songwriting perspective. And then the reason the lead off track is the lead off track is because I really thought The Old Fox was something I wanted people to hear first. Like I was like, this is definitely the oldest song. We wrote it senior. I probably wrote guitar parts
senior year of college
sophomore
was
year of
when we
college.
started working on it. Yep.
And then you started, like I had a demo that dates back that far, and Stu started writing lyrics in my closet when we lived together senior year.
To be clear, guys, everyone listening, it was a walk-in closet that was the sound booth in the apartment.
Yeah, it was the sound
I wasn't
booth.
just hiding in the closet.
You probably just need to,
He might still be. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like, get in the closet.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good sound deadening, and with all the clothes in there, it worked out great. So
Yeah.
That song is definitely like a vestige of like, hey, what if every part we write goes into a song like back in Category 5 days? But it's a little bit skate punk. It has kind of like a cool bridge. And then the outro is just like, we just kind of like send it. And I feel like that is a good, it's a good, I think, first impression of Port Maria. And you get little bits and pieces of that like throughout the rest of the album. But I feel like it starts the album off with a bang.
So
Well
let me
said,
ask
dude.
you guys a question. After these abbreviated rankinets, the first track that you released to the public was Tunneler. Excuse me. I haven't heard a whole lot of praise on Tunneler. You guys want to just talk about why you put that one out first?
Yeah. Similar to the Old Fox, I was thinking, I don't want to go out the gate with what I perceive to be like the best song, because I don't want to get it glossed over, you know? And Tunneler is one similar to the Old Fox where it's fast. It's like full octane. And maybe was the one song that Stu was like, I love this. Do
Mhm.
more of this.
Yeah.
And so that felt very much like, ooh, this is a sound I want people to associate with us. You know, friends that are in bands, like I want them to hear this song first and be like, oh, cool. Like that band. This is a band's band.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else to add there, Stu?
No, I mean, I kind of agree. Like it just, it was a lot of power. It's fast.
That one also has
Just
my
good hooks.
favorite second verse on the album.
That second verse is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I think I love that so much because just the guitars just kind of reminded me of like Over It from 20 years ago. And
Yeah,
I was like,
totally.
yeah, this is like old Over It. And I fell in love with it as well. And I don't know.
Even when we were naming it, like it was like Tunnels or something like that. And then we were looking at Limiter on
Yeah, you're right.
Timing
You're
for Everything, and we were like Tunneler. So
All right. You know what? Fuck it. We're not that too far in time. Let's play Tunneler. We'll listen to it. We're going to add a third track to this episode here. And
okay.
Did we even finish ranking it, Steve, after you
are we
bowled it
supposed to do
over?
ranking it too, or is it just the two of
Yeah.
them?
Yes, we were,
Oh, all right.
but apparently not.
Let's.
So-
We're going to take a break from ranking it. We're going to listen to Tunneler, and then we're going to come back, me and Chris. I didn't realize. I thought it was just to him. Here's Tunneler.
All the choices I make or have made, a lens that was shaped while I was standing just out of frame. It's one in the same, a feeling I can't shake. Separated by the time it takes to put out a proper escape. Resigned to my fate, and burned at the stake. Are we who we are? Because or in spite of everyone we love. 'Cause I'm wondering where is the line between what's mine and predefined. Any excuse left to sell. Look what we built, I keep caving in on myself. There's no parables to prepare for the wrestling down and still by the bonds we share. Is this a smash and grab, or did I leave any goods on the shelf? Or did you orchestrate the whole damn thing? I read the instructions of blueprints, create the illusion there's blame to share. And I don't fit in anywhere, all these spare pieces in the box, it's troubling. Are we who we are? Because or in spite of everyone we love. 'Cause I'm wondering where is the line between what's mine and predefined. Any excuse left to sell. Look what we built, I keep caving in on myself. Sit back and watch it burn, or get trampled on, waiting your turn. Every crack in the foundation wall set me back on this path, and I can't avoid all the hazards by knowing what happens in the end. I keep giving in, I keep giving in, I keep giving in, I keep giving in, I keep giving in.
You never know what's going to happen here on High School Never Ends. Sometimes we just interrupt ranking it with another song. It happens. I felt like it was. I was feeling it. I was feeling it.
That was wild.
Never
That's great,
happens.
man. I got to give credit to my brother, Ryan William Stewart, for the outro of that song. Put that all together, composed it and everything.
That was strings. What was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was, yes, it was a lot of MIDI work, but my brother is a amazing composer. So got to give him props there.
Yeah, we got him involved in a couple songs on the album where it was like, hey man, I have this idea, but I don't really know how to realize it. Can you help me like with mallets, you know? And they might not be like upfront in a mix of a song, but it adds something. And I'm really appreciative of Ryan kind of getting involved in a couple of those tracks.
Listen, man, the Stewart family, they sing, they compose, they breed golden retrievers, whatever you need. They are
Labradors.
Labrador, sorry. They are your go-to family. They're great.
Very cool. Well, that's okay. I definitely think it was a good choice, though, to play the additional song. And I guess, Steve, you and I can do our quick hit ranking it. And for my two, I already had them already set up. And I don't think I need to go into too much detail because I think somebody already did. I believe it was Steve. But, you know, one of my two is the Old Fox. I'm always a sucker for a good intro track, or a good first track, we should say. And this one definitely fits the bill for all of the reasons that Steve had already said. And I really enjoyed that one. And then number 2 for me is 2011. I just really enjoyed that one for some reason. I just struck a chord. So love the music on that one. A little bit harder sound. I just liked it. So
Thank you, Chris.
yeah.
Cool.
I could totally see Chris picking that. That tracks. And Wingman Steve's picks, they track as well. The catchy choruses, man. I already kind of spoiled it that you asked me to pick a track and I picked The Thread. So that would be my number 2. But number 1 is just Clinic After Hours. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Like, that is a song that if this was like 2000 and your band was Newfound Glory, like that would be your single and your video, and you would be on MTV and all that good stuff. So if you guys feel like, filming a music video or doing anything silly or, submitting it to MTV if they play videos, I would encourage that. It's a fantastic track that has a lot of earworms, a lot of staying power, and I think it means a lot. So,
Well, dude, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much, guys. I really appreciate that.
yeah, and we are really glad to sit down and talk with you guys about this. We know that a lot went into creating this album, your first full-length album. And anybody listening, please, I'm going to give them the opportunity to tell you the specifics, but listen to the album on the streamings. It's Port Maria is the name of the band. Co-Conspirators is the name of the album. And I think it's available on vinyl and Bandcamp. So Stu, one of you guys give the information on where they can find you.
I'll let Steve run this one here because he's the owner of Sinking Ship Records.
If you are looking to listen, any of the streaming services, we're there. If you are looking for vinyl, sinkingshiprecords.com/shop. You can pick up vinyl. And if you want to follow us on social media, we would very much appreciate it. We're as active as we can be, but it's Port Maria Band. And we'll see you there.
So Steve, it's iTunes, Spotify. Is it on Tidal?
Oh, you know it, dude.
Okay, sweet.
We are even on Deezer.
What? Okay, all right. Deezer. All right, there we go.
Port Maria
Deezer.
Band taking over the world.
People
And,
listen to
Pick your
Deezer,
poison, people. It's there.
They use Deezer. People do. I need stats. I need to know how many though. But
Can we
good to
send a
know.
message to Kenny Vasoli and get you guys to open up for the starting line in July in New Jersey? Let's try and make that happen.
Dude, I sent him a message today and was just like, can you get Days Away on that show? I saw that they came back, and I've talked about this on the Discord a little bit, but like I could not buy tickets to the Something Corporate show with them. And I'm psyched about that.
Maybe you can get them the day of on a ticket reseller.
I am
Maybe.
actually looking up Sinking Ship Records right now to buy my very own vinyl version. of
Oh
this
yeah.
album.
Hell yeah, Chris.
Let's get some merch. You got some T-shirts, some hats.
We were talking about it actually.
put that
We're
in
gonna-
the.
We're gonna try and do it, man. We're gonna get some merch going.
My wife has that machine.
A lot of
It's called-
stickers.
It's called a Cricut machine. So
Yeah.
you know what that is?
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Cricut. So if you want us to pump out some shirts for you at cost, we can help fuel the machine. You just let me know.
Yeah, I think we're going to stay away from the Cricut version of those. But thanks.
They look
man.
very, very professional. Okay.
Are you talking about like when you like iron on the vinyl?
Yes.
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 But it cuts it out very.
It does cut it out nice.
It's efficient. It's very good. It costs a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
Tara has the other version of that called a silhouette, and we use it all the time for crafting projects. I will not be using it to make t-shirts.
All right, fine. Then get some official T-shirts.
Did you make pickleball T-shirts out of that Cricut?
No. My wife made a lot of Dance Mom T-shirts for her Dance Mom friends, and she did for my birthday make me a shirt. There's a band called Ludo that plays their thing every year called Haludoween. She made me a Haludoween T-shirt that might glow in the dark, and it's not official merchandise. So if the band sees it, they might get mad at me. But I'm gonna wear it there this year anyway. I don't give a shit.
They're gonna take it from you. You know what she should make for you is a recapture of that Mest shirt that you lost. The Mets Mest.
Do you know what she's going to make for me, Chris? Is a custom T-shirt that I'm going to wear at Four Chord Music Festival. If you're listening and you're in the Pittsburgh area, come to the Four Chord Music Festival. I'm going to be wearing a custom t-shirt that is related to this podcast. And if you find us, we're going to give you some special merch and stuff like that.
Yes, because I'll be wearing 20 High School Never Ends t-shirts, and I will give you one of those.
Possibly, yes.
They won't actually be, there'll be 20 of them, so they won't be touching me. It'll be just touching the other shirt.
What if
It'll be
nobody
okay.
comes up to us in Pittsburgh and you're just stuck wearing 20 fucking shirts for the entire day and it's 95
What if it's a cold,
degrees?
cooler day? Then and I'll be all right. Right? You never know.
It's not going to be, and then you're going to be handing people like very sweaty shirts that you've been wearing all day.
Nobody wants the last one.
That's what a washing machine's for. So
Yeah.
it'll be fine. You
I mean,
should
it's-
wash it anyway.
It's going to be like peeling an onion. Basically, it's just going to get kind of gooier and gooier
Except
as you
it'll
get to the
smell
middle.
worse.
I'll wear an undershirt in between each shirt. So then there's a
So you
pad.
could have 40 shirts.
So you
on.
got 40 shirts on.
That's 40 shirts. Who cares, right?
Guys,
That's
that
fine,
is
man.
worth
Fine,
buying
man.
a ticket and flying to Pittsburgh for Four Chord Music Festival to see this.
We'll have to make that work. Well, guys, again, it's been a pleasure. Awesome to have you on. Love the music. Go check them out. Port Maria, Steve and Stu. Can't wait to get you back here on the show to talk about maybe your music, maybe somebody else's. We shall see. But for all of you out there, once again, hopefully you enjoyed Quick Hits on High School Never Ends. One way you can tell us all about it is through the socials. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Definitely do that if you have Apple Podcasts. We love those 5-star reviews, but we really, really love the actual reviews and to hear exactly what you think and feel about the show. So please leave a written review, leave that 5-star review. If you have Spotify, you can leave that same rating. And don't forget also, support the show. We got some really cool swag out there. Hats, shirts. I'll have 40 of them on. If you want a free one, but otherwise you can go to our hub. That's www.hsnepod.com. That'll take you to the Dragon Wagon shop where you can find all of that cool swag to buy.
That is right. And follow us on social media at HSNEPod, like High School Never Ends Pod. Please come join our Discord server. It's free. It's fun. We have a lot of interesting conversations about pop punk music and about a lot of other random stuff and ranking things. And it's a fun little community that we would love to see you in. So come join that. You can get that link at hsnepod.com. Port Maria, Steve, Stu, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Fantastic job with co-conspirators. We'll talk to you soon. Until next time, keep on rocking those dad bods, throw up the rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Classical mythologies have shaped the very world we live in.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for dense, dusty old books, Paul.
Great. Well, that's what podcasts are for.
Oh, good point.
Join me, Paul, as I teach my best friend and improv comedy partner, Sarah, all about mythology on Myth Understood.
Mythology is frequently explicit, obscene, violent, and bizarre, though, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to joke about and improvise along the way?
Yes.
Oh.
So come for the mythology and stay for the absurdity on Myth Understood.
Available now at mythunderstoodpodcast.com and your podcast platform of choice.
It's misunderstood.
It's Dragon Wagon.